Hi, thank you for joining us here at Tax Talk UK, where we talk about all things tax and consider other important aspects of working for yourself, being self-employed, running a small business. So today I am going to talk about the style of postage stamps and what is happening with those. And before I do, if I could please ask you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll easily be able to refer back to this information if you need to, as well as being able to find other information that we have available on a whole host of topics aimed at supporting you in your self-employment. All of the information is catalogued in our playlist. So if you look for the playlist that describes your situation, and in there you will find the information that is aimed to help you in what you are doing. So on to postage stamps then. So these are the original style postage stamps, and these ones are first class. We have the same for second, large first and second as well. As you can see on these, there's nothing that makes any one stamp different from another. And what you need to know about is that in March of this year, in 2022, Royal Mail introduced barcoding for these stamps. So the principle is still the same. You can still buy your books of stamps and buy a book of first class, for example, like this, and they'll be valid sort of going forward. But each stamp has an individual barcode. And the reason that it's important for you to know what is happening if you have these style stamps is that after the 31st of January 2023, which actually isn't very long away, you will no longer be able to use these stamps. They won't be valid. So of course, with Christmas on the horizon, perhaps you may be able to use all of the stamps that you have. But if you won't, if you think that you will still have some, or if we get to the end of January and you still do have some, then you will need to exchange the stamps for some of the new barcoded ones. So Royal Mail will switch like for like. So if you sent off these 9 first class stamps, they would send you back 9 barcoded first class stamps, so exactly like for like. But what has been assumed quite generally is that you would be able to take your stamps, these style stamps, into a post office and have them exchanged. Now, the post office staff are not able to exchange the stamps for you. You must send them off and use the Royal Mail swap out scheme. So in the description, I'm going to pop a link to the form that you'll need to use, and you complete the form. If your stamps, if the value of the stamps that you have is over £200, there's a slightly different form, but either way you complete the form and you send them off to Royal Mail, and they aim within a couple of weeks to have your stamps back to you. So the thing, of course, to be aware of is that you're going to literally put your stamps and your form in an envelope addressed to a free post and pop it in the post box. Obviously the thing that we need to consider is what if those stamps don't arrive. So what I would suggest is that you take your swap out envelope into the post office. Because there is no postcode on the swap out address, they cannot give you a computer generated proof of postage, but online, and again I'll pop the link in the description, you can download a bulk proof of postage form where you will be able to fill in the address of where you're sending it to, take that into the post office along with your envelope, and they will just put a stamp on, and that at least proves that you did post your stamps off to Royal Mail in the event of any problems with that. So yeah, so really important that if you have any of these stamps that you know that after the 31st of January 2023, you'll no longer be able to use those, and you will need to swap them using Royal Mail swap out scheme. You can't take them into the post office. You will need to complete the form and send them off. And that scheme is due to close on the 31st of March 2023. So if you know now that you won't be able to use your stamps, then do it now. If you think you may do, then you can still use them till the end of January. So of course, the nearer we get to the 31st of January, then obviously the more that you can use them, then the less there will be to need to send off and risk those getting lost in the post. And of course, if you buy stamps now, you will get the new barcoded ones. So if you have a combination of some barcoded and some original style ones such as these, make sure that you're using these up first, because you won't be able to use these. They won't be valid after the 31st of January. So a little bit of work to do if you have the old stamps, but of course well worth doing, because otherwise if you don't do anything and the scheme closes, then the original style stamps will be worthless. So hopefully this helps you to understand what you need to do. I'll pop the links in the description. Thank you very much for watching. As I mentioned, please do take a moment to subscribe to our channel. If you found the video useful, please also like the video, because that helps us to understand which topics you're finding the most useful and which we should concentrate answering the questions on, and which we should prioritize. So thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.